I needed to find episode 14, and at first I was nervous because it wasn't on Netflix, but it is on Crunchyroll. So in this episode 14, The Common Cold, we see a cell who is in the process of mitosis, and it's actually so funny how they show it. And then he's bored by this monotony, which I don't think cells really have consciousness, but whatever. And he becomes friends with the cell that is actually a cell that's been infected with a cold. Doesn't know that though, and pulls tricks on the immune system to make the immune system confused and to be able to hide from it. And then it turns out that the virus tries to infect the guy, and he's sad, and they start trying to break the clone because they're breaking in to want to duplicate their own cells, I think. That's what that is. And they left their RNA behind, which I thought was pretty funny. And then he starts hugging his clone because he's very sad. And that's basically what what cell replication is. It's a clone of the cell. Everything is identical. And he kind of like separated it between the clone. They called it packages. It was really the chromosomes. Separating it and tying it with string, the microtubules. That's the spindle fibers, I'm pretty sure. So let's go through this. Crunchyroll is being dumb and not loading, even though it played perfectly fine before. But it sneezed. There's the sneeze again. We're reminded of the sneeze. And it again, what T cells are and stuff. And there's effector T cell. I'm glad that he came back and has the little thing on the hair. They didn't forget about that. And effector T cell is still pretty OP when they're actually fighting the virus. They're reminded again of the cell cycle, which I thought was very cool. This cell kind of reflects, that's the clone in there. It's the cloning machine. This is the cell checkpoint, between an interface like G1, G2, blah, blah, blah. It checks the cell to see if it's doing okay, and if there's something wrong, it tells the cell to self-destruct, apoptosis. So that is very cool and very relevant to what I've been learning so far, and kind of like fills it out like a bubble sheet. It's pretty funny. And making copies over and over. That is what a cell basically does. There is the clone. You can also see that the clone looks exactly like the actual cell, and all the cells look the same, which makes sense. If all the cells look the same, and this is canon, the cloning thing, then why do the white blood cells and the macrophages and the killer T cells look different? They're similar, but different. I will look that up later, but first I want to show you how they represent mitosis. It's really cool. Microtubules, that's the spindle fibers. Those are the different luggages. Oh my gosh, it's that metaphase. Lined up on metaphase. So he takes them, separates the clones from the other ones at the different sides of the room. Studying up on viruses and pathogens is equivalent to how well their receptors are at recognizing a virus and telling everyone, maybe. Here the cell doesn't recognize the hat, which is the virus right there. The immune cells are different, but whatever. This is showing how the virus, I think, confuses our immune system so that we can't find it as easily. I don't know, but I know that the cold is caused by a bunch of different viruses, which is why we don't have a cure for it. The scientist.com article, cold-causing coronavirus don't seem to confer a lasting immunity. They're talking about SARS-CoV-2, but they basically mentioned in there that you don't have immunity to the cold because your body forgets it quickly. So that might be why this cell maybe didn't brush up on his study or forgot about it. Like, forgot about the virus, which is why it didn't recognize it. Explain how they found the cell, because they left their RNA behind. Let's look this up. Kind of an equivalent to this in the real world, but if there's out there probably is, but I couldn't find anything when searching it up. But we know RNA, we love RNA. Here the virus is being sneezed out at you, and the clone does not know what's going on. This could technically be interphase. This is the cells loosening up and not working. I guess maybe just growing their muscles. It's kind of a stretch, but in terms of story, anime, not biological, this is a nice ending. Plus, he was envious that he couldn't be friends with other cells, so this is nice.